Hey everyone, it's the Nitty Professor. Do you ever feel like you're going to go insane because of the news? There are many times when I feel that way. I had actually an interesting discussion yesterday with our handyman, and it was making him insane too. So anyhow, this is why I'm experiencing another bout of cast-on-itis. So I'm just going to put it that way. So this is one of the things that I recently cast on. And some of you may recall, I bought the yarn at the Red River Valley Fiber Festival in Fargo last month. And I'm so glad I did, because isn't that fun? I mean, it's like knitting candy. The texture is incredible. So varied. I'm using here a size 11 needle, because I thought, well, I just want to bring out all that yumminess. And it's really soft, really squishy, and I think it's going to be so much fun to wear. Let me just review for those of you who may not have been around for when I got back from my visit to the Fiber Genie. The content of this yarn, which is tiny batch limited edition hand-dyed yarn, is 50% alpaca and 50% fine Peruvian merino. Not just coarse Peruvian merino, but fine Peruvian merino. And if I recall correctly, she told me this isn't superwash. That's what she said. So the one color is called Happy Hug. Oh yeah, we all need to knit with Happy Hug. The other color is Soft Pink Taffy. And it says on there, one of a kind. Very sweet, very chewy. Absolutely, I'll just show you the balls. Obviously, when I first showed you, they were hanks, but now they're these delicious balls. Isn't that fun? I mean, this really does help to restore my sanity. And that's a good thing. Especially, I had that wonderful trip to a place that was a little more sane, where you don't have homeless people on every corner. And the crime rate is low. The infrastructure is functional. There's public transportation, thank you. And they don't decide that windmills are bad. Yeah, really enjoyed Sweden. Looking forward to going back. In fact, if I can afford it, I don't know, I might just go back to Oslo. What do you think, Benny? Benny's sick too. He's still here. Benny. Hey, Benny. Come on, Benny. Let me see here if I can get him into the picture. He's on a prednisone-induced high, so he's being taken care of. But, yeah, lymphoma is nothing to joke with. It's just one more piece of news that could have done without. The other thing I cast on, because, yeah, casting on dopamine, it's what I need. It's what a lot of us need, is this cute little hat. I remember showing you guys the yarn for this because I had knit that polar bear hat with the mint green colors. And I was like, well, I have some yarn that's quite similar to that. It's a little thinner. So if I'm not mistaken, for the green hat, I cast on 84 stitches. And this one, I decided I would go with 92. This yarn is officially DK, but it's a very, very poofy DK. It's called Plump DK by Mrs. Moon. Sumptuous softness, ethically sourced. We want that too. It's from the UK. And the one color is Rhubarb Crumble. The other is not named. That's what I got, folks. I've got Rhubarb Crumble and no name. Don't know why, but there you go. Not that I care. Oh, check that. Colors on the front. Marshmallow. I'm guessing that's the lighter pink. Now, I've never seen a marshmallow that's that, cantaloupe color, but there you go. This yarn is 80% superfine, sustainable merino, and 20% baby alpaca. And I have also balled this up. I like to ball it by hand. My daughter sent me a funny post on Snapchat the other day. We were talking on the phone while she was trying to unwind some yarn and really struggling. In fact, I think at one point she confessed to having punished her yarn because it was making her mad. And I was like, yeah, no, that's not going to work. You've got to really just, work with it, ease it into the orderly state that you want. And she figured that out. But in any case, we both admitted that we enjoy turning our hanks into balls by hand. For me, it's just one more encounter with the yarn. I mean, this yarn is soft and squishy, so why not skein it up myself? Plus, we have the added fun of having a cat on my lap who makes for an even more interesting and suspenseful process. Now, I just want to show you, so the idea that I have in mind for this hat, so this is what I've started on, is I'm using this deer motif. And if memory serves, I can knit it 4 times. So 4 times around, 4 repeats of the deer motif. I'm hoping that the height will be what I want. Of course, I can always adjust it, right? I'm assuming I won't have to subtract rows. That, if anything, I would have to add rows, which I might do. Lately, especially given how the winters are around here with oftentimes 30 and 40 mile per hour winds, really like to have a couple of layers around my ears. So I tend to, I'll knit about 9 inches of, tube before I do the crown. That way I have a nice brim that I can turn up. And that's probably what I'm going to do for this one. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. Now, when I was in Stockholm, I only brought one project to work on. Actually, that's what I'm going to show you. So when I got back, that's where I was. When I got back from Stockholm, and I showed some of this already, but I had finished this sock quite a bit ago. And I decided, well, I have just got to cast on the second sock. So that's another thing I cast on. I cast on my second sock. And again, I probably showed this to some of you. Sometimes I'll forget what I show y'all in German, what I show y'all in English. But in any case, there it is. And this yarn also, if memory serves, has alpaca. I'm not sure if I can find the label, but I'm going to give it a good old college try. There we go. Compass Moon Creations Natural Yarn Fibers That Touch Your Heart and Spirit. From the Idaho-Washington border. I got this in Coeur d'Alene, I'm sure of it. The color is calming, and it's 25% alpaca, 50% wool, 25% nylon. I've been really gravitating towards that alpaca yarn, y'all. And I think, again, because, it gives my nerve endings that calming effect that I need so badly these days. Let me see what else I can show you here. I've got a few things out. This is the hat. Yes, I showed you that. Oh, here's a project that I picked up again because I had dumped it. You know how it is, on occasion you go gangbusters in a project and then you're like, I don't know. But this is going to be a hat. One way or another, this is going to be a hat. Let me see if I can show you how this is turning into ponies. And I was just super worried that it was going to be too big. But then I've got this on 2 needles. So every time I try it on, so every time I put it on like this, woo, it's fine. It's fine, So I think what's going to happen is the pattern is going to get cut off quicker than intended. I will show you the pattern. This yarn is a very nice DK. It's a Shetland woolen spun in New England, 100% wool, from Harrisville Design. It says spun in the US. I don't know where the wool's from. Why wouldn't it say wool from the US? Who knows? But it is it's a rustic wool, spun in New England. And this color is, there's a black cherry Shetland. And the other one is Lime. It's called Lime. I forget where I bought this. I don't know. We used to have this really cool yarn store down in Sioux Falls called Athena, that she was in business for 10 years and then she gave up the ghost. Could be. I'm sure I bought it at a store. But in any case, hopefully the hat will fit. I'm going to make it fit. That's what's going to happen. It fits me on the ears. The rest, even if it turns into like a kind of a beret or a tam, I think that'll be fine. But I got to show you the pattern. So yeah, I picked that up for the first time in months because I was just worried and, you know, I don't know. I don't want stress. But it's really pretty. Even though it's a bit of a handful to knit all this color work. So that is what we're supposed to come up with. And the crown, I mean, you can see that crown starts all the way up in here. Well, I think mine's going to start right when I get to that pony's ears. It's going to be like, okay, we're at 7 inches. Because I followed the instructions for the broom. This hat, I can't really double it up. So it's going to be a 7-inch tall beanie before I start working the crown. And then I'll see what kind of crown shaping I want to do and how much design I want to put into it. So that's from this book, Winter Knits. From Scandinavia. I'm enjoying Scandinavia. And I thought I would just show you my progress on my very relaxing sock yarn sweater. Just because it's cool every time to look at how the colors are unfolding. Because they're very pleasing to the eye. So these colors make me happy from the visual standpoint. Just a minute. A stitch came off. We can't have that. There's a lot of yarn on this needle. Could almost stand to lengthen it. There we go. Glorious full color from pink, and we're transitioning now into some aqua blues. And it won't be too long. So I'm probably going to knit, I don't know, maybe 45 centimeters. That's what I usually go to before I make the yoke. Maybe 44. I'll double check on a pre-existing sweater. I use my sweaters as giant swatches. Works out pretty well. It's like, yeah, I made a swatch. I made a whole sweater. And whatever went wrong with that one, I'll fix in this one. It works, you know. So right now I'm on these 2 balls. I have this multicolored South American yarn and then this turquoise mixed yarn. And at this point, these yarns have been around so long because you know, they were leftovers. I still have the label from the Allegria, or maybe it's Allegria. I'm not sure, but I'm not worried about it because worrying right now is not really what I want to do. Locura Fluo from Manos del Uruguay. That's that very rainbowy color yarn, and the other I forget what kind of yarn it is, but it's pretty, and I have to decide what to do once the rainbowy ball runs out, that's going to be the next one. Oh, something else I managed to do. So one afternoon, I started with this bag. I have been working on this spin now for several months, probably because I'm not spinning daily, which would be nice if I did. But it's a lot of work outside to do, and I have the dogs to look after. So I spun a whole bag of this. I divided into 6 of them because I'm going to make 2 skeins of 3-ply yarn. So I'm up to 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 now, 5 bobbins that I've spun. I got to spin 1 more. And then I will ply the yarn. And it's a very woolly, I don't know if you can tell a whole lot if I hold it up like that, but it's a very woolen texture. I do enjoy spinning up this yarn, this wool. I'll hold up the wool itself. Will give you even more of an idea. Isn't that glorious? Such a beautiful color, such beautiful texture. Very fun to hold. And I don't know how many of you spin. I've had people in the past ask me, you know, what do you do, right? And I had to ask that question too. So for this, I'll break it into like 2-foot lengths, something like that. And then with this particular, so you can get a picture of the texture there, I break this in half. Break it in half like that. Then I just kind of try to separate the wool along the staple. This probably has about maybe a 3 to 4 inch staple. And I do that going all the way down. And then it's pretty easy to spin. I don't have to think about it at all when I'm spinning it. And again, you can see the wooliness even better. It's just glorious to spin. So I've been making good progress on that, and it's very comforting. I sit in my son's room and usually I put on Bill Lawrence. Bill Lawrence is one of my favorite music groups. It's a spin-off from Snarky Puppy. And listen to that, kind of think about the next scene in my novel. I'm working on book 8. So on that front, the news is right now I'm in a waiting game. I have uploaded the book to 3 different aggregators because I want you all to have your choice of booksellers, where to get it. In fact, I saw my first copy last night at Orchestra because I told my friend, I said, well, it's on Amazon, but I got people who don't really care about Amazon. But she's like, I don't have a problem with Amazon, so she went ahead and ordered it. Now, if you are friends with Amazon and you want to order it there, let me know and I'll send you the link because I'm very excited. At least the book is available. I showed y'all the cover the other day. Right now, I'm waiting for my proofs to come. I ordered a half dozen. I told my daughter, do you want me to, I'll send you one, I'll sign it. She's like, well, yeah, Mom, you got to send me that book because, we've talked a lot about, especially the younger people and like plot elements and stuff. She's one of my best informants because she's extraordinarily open, which, thanks. Love you, daughter. My son was a big help. He's good at critiquing. So he's like, well, I like this, Mom, but you might want to think about changing this. I'm like, really? Why? So he's, well. So both my twins have been a huge help. My eldest, you could care less, which is fine. That, that's cool. But yeah, just let me know if you're an eager beaver and you want to order it now. I'll send you the Amazon link, but hopefully I have an ebook in the hopper, and trying to get it out internationally and just to as many places as I possibly can. So that's about all I have to report on today. Oh, by the way, I have my new scarf is in my 6 bag. I so enjoyed watching that musical. 6 plays a big role in book 7. That's sort of illogical, but yeah. 6 plays a role in book 7. One of my characters designs the costumes for the Great Plains University version of 6. So in any case, we're moving along, and I hope that if you can't take the news, just turn it off. Sometimes that, it's what we have to do. That's what Benny does, right? He just tunes it out. In our house, we have Bewitched on an awful lot. Now, my son, my eldest, he watched a Mob movie the other day, and I had to tune that out because I'm like, if I watch anything new at all, it's got to be comedy. It has to be comedy. So, because there's too much mob boss stuff going on in the news today. So in any case, knit yourself something fun and don't worry about how it turns out. Enjoy whatever colors you enjoy, whatever textures you enjoy, whatever patterns you enjoy, and just have a good time with your crafting, and don't sweat it if something gets a little bit wonky. Like, that's probably what's happening right now when I'm trying to do this. In any case, have a nice look at these colors, and we'll talk soon. Ciao.